G-Max gone global to secure two of the latest additions to next season's Syracuse men's basketball squad. The first of these international insertions is Mark Morano Mamutovic. The 6'7" Slovenian wing is a career 39% shooter from beyond the arc and finished second in scoring at last summer's FIBA U18 Eurobasket event. Also joining the Orange from overseas is Abdramane Sibi, a 7-foot center who's originally from Mali but currently plays in Serbia. The 19-year-old is the second center to join the roster, along with former Siena big Tasman Goodrick. But the Hoops overhaul isn't the only major shift at SU, because the university announced that Brian Blair has been appointed as its next director of athletics. Blair was formerly the AD at Toledo and will officially assume the position in July, when current Syracuse AD John Wildhack retires. And he's no stranger to college athletics. Blair previously worked in athletic departments at Washington State, Rice, and South Carolina, but is most known for his time at Toledo, where he built a reputation as a fundraiser. During his tenure, Toledo became the first MAC school to launch an NIL collective. Additionally, he raised fundraising at the school by more than 280%. And while the men's basketball team went 84-50 during his tenure, he notably has a strong football background, with the Rockets securing 13 MAC championships in that time. And well, speaking of football, Syracuse visited Clemson for its ACC opener this week. The Tigers opened the season as the preseason number 4, but entered this matchup dropping 2 of its first 3 games. But Vegas didn't think that changed much for the Cuse, who still entered as 17.5-point underdogs. So to Death Valley we go, the Orange looking for just their 3rd win over the Tigers all time and their first ever on the road, but they set the tone early. On the first drive of the game, Steve Angeli finds Justice Ross Simmons, who brings it in and says he's too small. And then kicker Jaden O throws in a little wrinkle. Syracuse converts on the onside kick and hits the field goal in the drive to make it 10-0. But Kate Klumnik, a preseason Heisman candidate, wasn't going to go down without a fight, connects on a deep ball to his top receiver, Bryant Wesco Jr., to make it 10-7. On the first play of the second quarter, it's Will Nixon, nearly untouched up the middle for the touchdown, and this offensive engine wouldn't stop chugging along, because on their 4th drive of the game, Angeli finds Darryl Gill Jr. in the end zone. That's right, 4 drives, 4 scores for the Cuse. In the waning moments of the first half, Kate Klubnik has some time looking for a score to end the half on a high note and connects with Adam Randall to make it 24-14 Syracuse at the half. Now, the second half wouldn't begin before a lightning delay. That's right, the start of the second half was pushed back over 90 minutes. Despite this, SU picked up right where it left off. Angeli finds Jonte Cook, who had 6 receptions for 113 yards. Both were career highs, but this is where things really go wrong for SU, because oh no, Steve Angeli goes down grabbing his Achilles. He would need to be helped off to the sideline, so the fans asked for him, and now they got him. Ricky Collins comes in to replace Angeli, and he finds Justice Ross Simmons here to make it a 20-point Syracuse lead going into the 4th quarter. Kate Klubnik still out there fighting for Clemson, trying to make something happen, finds Bryant Wesco Jr. for his 2nd touchdown of the game, but that would really be all here on 4th down. Klubnik, can he keep this one going? Absolutely not. Davian Kerr picks it off and seals the deal for Syracuse. The Orange hand Clemson its largest home loss to an unranked opponent since 2001, and it gets its first program win down in Death Valley.
Thanks, John. Few numbers carry more weight on the hill than 22. In number 5, Syracuse men's lacrosse's 14-7 win over Colgate Saturday, attackman Joey Spallina added to that legacy, becoming the program's all-time points leader. And the senior says there's a strong bond between those who've donned the double deuces.
You know, I listen. I'm extremely close with them. There's pictures. I think my dad has it of me and Casey when I was 10. So I've been extremely tight with those guys. Those guys are unbelievable.
Spallina's record-breaking moment came on a first-quarter assist to Michael Leo. That gave the attackman 308 career points, passing Mikey Powell's previous mark of 307. But despite the milestone, there's still more games to play. Syracuse travels to number 1 Notre Dame in its final game of the regular season, Saturday at noon. WAER's coverage begins with McClure modeling countdown to face-off at 11:30. Number 4 Syracuse women's lacrosse faces number 20 Virginia in its first game of the ACC tournament Wednesday. The Orange have leaned on their elite defense all season, and that's exactly what led the way against the Cavaliers last time out. SU held Virginia to just 5 goals when the two teams met a month ago. Game time is set for 2. Follow at WAER Sports on X for live updates. And on the diamond, the Mets suffered their 11th loss in a row in a 2-1 defeat to the Cubs yesterday. The losing streak is New York's longest in over 2 decades and is tied for its 7th longest all time. Nick Foster, WAER Sports. It's always good to start the season on a high note. Well, that's exactly what Jack Wenninger has done in his first full season with AAA Syracuse. The 24-year-old right-hander turned in his 3rd straight 5-strikeout performance of the season in the Mets' 5-3 win over the Rail Riders tonight. And in an organization chock full of young standout arms, manager Dick Scott says that Wenninger's competitive edge is what stands out the most.
Love his compete level. He just he wants the ball. He wants those big games. You know, the Scranton's a good team. They have a lot of good prospects, and they got some guys that can hit. And you know, it was kind of fun out there. You know, we had a nice crowd, and there was a good vibe to the stadium. And our guys probably played one of our better games we have in the last week. But part of that is just the pace that the pitcher sets. And I give him credit for that.
The Mets' number 6 prospect allowed just 1 earned run in 5 1/3 innings pitched today, and has allowed just 2 earned runs and 8 hits through just over 14 innings pitched through 3 starts this season. Today's win gives Syracuse a 2-1 edge in this 6-game series with Scranton. Both teams meet for a doubleheader tomorrow, and Game 1 begins at 12:35. Nick Foster, Citrus TV.